The greatest power you possess is your ability to choose. Join Lowe's Moore as he reveals how you can begin to maximize that power by exploring yourself on the deepest levels and committing to making lasting and positive changes. Get ready to achieve breakthroughs that will lead to accelerated growth and transformation, because you are now tuned in to The Blueprint.
Why they actions contradict the lamb. I'm fellowshipping when I'm with the fam. That's more relations, that's forming a
Good evening. Oh, well, I don't know why I said good evening, but good afternoon. I guess I'm used to can find out there. So yeah, we're having some little technical difficulties here. But we're here, and we're here for the Super Bowl special. Man, it's early. I said good evening because usually this is in the evening and we start at 7:00, but this is the Super Bowl special. I'm excited about today's show. We've had so many amazing shows over the year, and so I'm just really looking forward to this. And I got a quick story. Put my little book back up here, but I got a quick story because I don't know if the Super Bowl was on my bucket list. Because I play basketball. Of course, basketball is a little bit different. If you're in the NBA finals, man, the finals is wherever it ends up being in regards to. So it's a little difficult. But when it comes down to the Super Bowl, right? When it comes down to the Super Bowl, it's like it's in one place. You know exactly where it is, and so it wasn't on my it wasn't on my bucket list to go to the Super Bowl, but maybe when the Super Bowl was in Atlanta, when it was in Atlanta a few years back, usually one of my board members, his father, usually ends up and his friends have gone to every Super Bowl in the history. They live over in Pelham, and they go to every Super Bowls from the first Super Bowl, all the way up to currently. So in Atlanta, when they had the Super Bowl between New England and the Los Angeles Rams, I was like, man, I was talking to him and say, hey, your dad is getting ready. I'm sure your dad is getting prepared to go to the Super Bowl with his friends. They haven't missed one. After 40 years, the NFL started to give them tickets every year to the Super Bowl that him and his friends would come. And so he said, hey, yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately, my dad lost one of his friends. I said, okay. Yeah. And he said, hey, did you want to go to the Super Bowl? And I was like, I'm thinking like, I don't know if he's going to give me his Super Bowl ticket to go. And then what would I do with my wife? And I said, yeah, no, I'll think about it. Talk to your dad and let me know. And I get a call back about 30 minutes later. He said, hey, my dad is season ticket holders with the New England Patriots. And he's going to give you his tickets for you and your wife to go. And so I was like, are you serious? And my wife and I ended up going there early. We had a family member there, stayed at his house. He was out of town. And man, that was like the experience of a lifetime to go to the Super Bowl and participate in all the activities all the way leading up to the Super Bowl. And I mean, it was a great experience. I mean, I don't know if the game was great, but it was a great experience anyway. But yeah, it wasn't on my bucket list, but I mean, everybody would dream one day to go to an NHL championship, an NBA championship. Go see the Masters. But I got a chance to see the Super Bowl. I did get a chance to see two NCAA uh, national championship games in basketball. But you know, hey, I check that off. So again, welcome back, man. I'm really excited today, and check this out. I'm gonna jump right into it because we don't have much time. And let me start off with my book of the week. Let's just jump right into that. Yeah, there's my book of the week, and I mean I can't call a mentor is somebody but um, Tony Dungy mentors a lot of men through his books, and these books right here are so amazing. Quiet Strength, Uncommon, and Uncommon Marriage are three very powerful books from a very powerful man, not only man, but a very powerful man of God, and also a very powerful leader, husband and father. So, and he's still giving back. Won a Super Bowl, and his books and stories are amazing. So, if you don't have those books, I have two of those books. I don't have the marriage book, but I have two of his books upstairs. And so, let me jump right in. My word of the week is forgiveness. I thought, yeah, each week I think a lot about remember, I go back to my books, right? Hey, build your library. It's important to have a library in your house. It's important to have books in your house for your family. Hey, I got like 4 grandchildren now, and my man, Lil Dakota, he's like 19 months or going on 20 months. And I mean, since he was born, he was hanging out with his mom's a teacher now, principal, and he's hanging out with his pop. And we're looking at, man, got these mats with the ABCs and all that stuff on. And every day I just go over colors and ABCs. And now out of nowhere, right? It's like the wax on, wax off. Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, he started pointing at your shirt saying EA B, right? So I'm saying, like, if you want to raise some amazing kids, and I got some amazing kids, and my grandkids, if you want to raise some amazing kids, man, get books, start them reading, and start them early. And forgiveness is a real strong and powerful word for me, and uh, that's my word of the week. I mean, look it up, man. It is a powerful tool to have. Nothing is more powerful than the ability to forgive. And so my affirmation, my Pierce Harper affirmation for this week, it says, forgive others, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Right. And for me personally, I will never forget the day. And I mean, my story about my dad, uh, you know, over the years, and he did some crazy stuff. But I remember some years back, I was preaching a trial sermon over at Macedonia Baptist Church, and it took a lot, but I was able to forgive my father. I don't know if forgiveness set him free, but I know that forgiveness set me free, and I never look back, man, because as I said before, my father only seen me play as all the thousands of basketball games I played. He seen me play one basketball game in my lifetime. So, uh, you know, and so that for me to be set free, when you forgive, you set yourself free. So, and then I got my movie of the week and music of the week. My music of the week is Jonathan McReynolds. Right, I love that guy. Uh, just an amazing. He has some amazing things out. Amazing song, People. Uh, you know, is so important. One of his new works. And then, my good partner Denzel Washington did, since we doing NFL, right? Uh, Remember the Titans was a very powerful movie that I enjoyed. A true story. If you hadn't had a chance to look at it, please do. And then at a Black History moment, I want to do a shout out. I don't know if you've seen this on on yesterday. Marlon, Woody, Bruce, and Kenny, and particularly Kenny Washington, were the first 4 African Americans to integrate the NFL. There's a special out on it. They're amazing athletes. See their story, and actually Kenny Washington actually played at UCLA and played with the great Jackie Robinson. But can you imagine 2 guys on the same team? One breaking the color barrier in baseball, and the other one breaking the color barrier in football. What a powerful statement. Particularly, I always say every day is Black History, but we celebrate it in February. So look that up. Check out the documentary on it. It's an amazing work, and so again, I want to jump right into it. I don't know that we have highlights. We got no highlights today, but we're gonna jump right in it, man. You guys know my guests. We got Ray Rice, Super Bowl champion. Man, what did I say? Super Bowl high school champion. Won championships in college. Won championship as a pro. Man, I want to invite him to the Blueprint Podcast. What's up, Ray?
What's going on? Appreciate you having me.
Oh man, hey, it is my pleasure, man. And yeah, I'm sure, before we get started, man, what was it like? I know I want to talk a little bit about family and your process, the process of Ray Rice. But what was it like at this time or this week and then the day before and the whole experience of the Super Bowl? Now, I went to see the Super Bowl. I didn't play in the Super Bowl. That's a different mindset. So what do you so tell me about some of your experiences, man. What were you feeling?
And it was a very expensive process because you gotta yeah. I mean you think about it, right? You're playing in the AFC championship game, but you have to, I was a Pro Bowl nomination, so there's no guarantee that you go to the Super Bowl. But in preparation of, accepting, the nomination to go to Hawaii, that's where the Pro Bowl was played then. You have to book all those flights, ahead of time, so right before the AFC championship game. It's almost like you got to do it, win or lose. So
right.
Obviously we won that game, so I had booked all my family to go to Hawaii. To now have to rebook everything to go to New Orleans, but it wasn't a bad trade-off. But I mean, you gotta think it's like controlled chaos because the Super Bowl week's not normal. You kind of got like an extra week to practice, so you just want to stay tuned up. You're not really, you're practicing hard. You're doing the conditioning. You're trying to do the things, but needless to say, the word super is what it is. It's from the time you land in New Orleans, everything was just like, that beautiful city down there just became something super. They transformed the whole city, into like a little, today they call it the metaverse, but that's what it was for like a Super Bowl city. You go down there, the city does not look like, what you may see on TV because they've, on the highway, you seeing billboards of yourself and stuff like that on the side of the stadium. And, like, how did they transform all this? And, but a bit overwhelming, but it was a great process. The year before, my daughter was born when we went. So I didn't even think about really that Pro Bowl stuff, but she was born in the following year, I was walking off the field in the confetti. So it was a beautiful trade-off. I only went to one Super Bowl, actually played in 3 AFC championships. So it is rare to go, it's rare to win. The stuff we seen with Tom Brady and, you get those once in a lifetime athletes you have a chance to compete against. And that was always our thing. We had to get past, Ben Roethlisberger and Tom Brady. So I got one against those two, Hall of Famers that we know they're going to be, but, a lot of people can't. Dan Marino don't have one, and
Right.
he's obviously a Hall of Famer, great player, well respected, and it just shows you how hard it is to get one.
Yeah. And then to go back is even, harder.
Yep.
Hey, but you had, and I think when I was thinking about it, you had it was one play, I think was a determining factor for you guys even getting there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was 4th and 29 against the San Diego Chargers. Yeah.
And,
I mean, crazy, but you know how it is. I made a very good, lighthearted moment of it. But I mean, when you become a master of repetition, right? In practice, I always finish plays. So if I wasn't touched, I would, shake people, whatever, and I would sprint to the end zone. So, I think that, I joked around at the end of the game in the press conference and said, it was like, what was the play called? I said, hey, diddle diddle, Ray Rice over the middle. So, but it made a lot of, T-shirts made off of that, some good revenue stream. But I've made that play in practice 1,000 times before.
Right.
We practice situational football. You probably won't have 4th and 29, but a lot of instincts do come in where you just know, I knew I couldn't run out of bounds. The game's over. So at the end of the day, we was either going to throw it to me. I was going to have to pitch it back to somebody. But once I started making my moves, I kind of peeked at the sticks, and I knew I was close. And Anquan Bolden had a great block, and the rest is history, man. No first down there, no playoffs. We actually lose that game. We're out. So yeah, that was a big. I let other people kind of do the patting on the back, but it was definitely a big moment for me. And whenever I'm asked about it, I'm thrilled to talk about it because it's just one of those things you don't see. You see spectacular moments in sports. You see, Steph Curry creating new 3-point lines. You see, people scoring 50-point games. I have one of those moments that that you can say, wow, like if that didn't happen, they don't even go to the Super Bowl.
Right. And that iconic moment. I mean, it was like, what were you thinking in the huddle? I mean, you go to the huddle, you call the play, and you're thinking like, what?
I ain't gonna lie. The play was in Madden, everybody's simple play. We actually called it, if you want the terminology, we put it out there. It was ace right, cat, 999. That means all verticals. Halfback balloon. So halfback balloon means I had an option route. Balloon pops, it goes all over the place. So, but I leaked out slow if you go back and watch the play because I said, if I go out too fast, then he need time to throw the ball. It's 4th and 29. I daggone sure didn't think he was gonna drop it 3 yards. But they were in prevent coverage. And the only place to go with the ball was to me. Now, one thing that me and Joe Flacco had, we had a great me to you, you to me connection. And it's just stuff that you, like I said, I made that play in practice as many times, you shaking guys and you just got used to finishing. So I can't tell you it was the best play call, but it was the best one for that moment.
Yeah, definitely. And you got to use like when you grow up, I played just in sandlot, football, in the grass and in the projects, and all of us are making those moves, because we thought we was Gale Sayers and all these guys, and you trying to make those moves, man, and hey, it's like abnormal to see it in a professional football game, let alone, you starting to do like back in the sand, like, oh, I remember when I was,
Yeah, they say when you're in your zone, I think everyone knows that feeling when you're in that zone, man. And trust me, a lot of things don't change when you get in that zone. I think that, in professional sports, it's magnified because, you can Google our salaries, but when you're in that zone, we still thinking about those, days that we played in youth sports. Like, you can remember historic moments. You can, and that's the uniqueness about being a professional athlete, because you can share that kind of story with probably the whole locker room, because they've all had those moments to get there. So it's hard to even get in the zone. So when you get in that zone, it's special. That's what separates, I think, collegiate sports from professional sports, because everybody on the team, on a professional team, was the man where they were or grew up from.
Yeah, and here's from a fan perspective. We've known you for a while, right? But just sitting there watching you guys, watching you and watching the team and thinking like, oh man, 4th and 29. From a fan perspective, we like, oh, yeah, let's get it done. And man, as you were running, that nervous tension, we were all like, oh my God, so it's so great. I'm sure everybody, and then you make the first down, man, everybody's up like, yeah. So for the fan, is just, for us, it was just an awesome experience, man. And for somebody, right? If it's a great play if you don't know the person, but it's even greater play when you know the person and the hard work and the effort, you put into it. It was just, for us, all of us, for me, it was an iconic moment, man. Just awesome.
Oh man, it was, trust me now, years later, I relocated back to Maryland, and it's funny because I've been around the 4th and 29 story for forever, and I've always heard like, yeah, man, a great play. But they say love and hate come from the same source. So you always get that one guy, man, you were short. I said, all right, that's not what the text says, but we could, like, I'm like, all right, what can I say now?
All the officials say
I can't say anything now, but you always get that one, and it just kind of like, so it kind of brings you to that humbling moment of like keeping a balance now, because it's always going to be someone, it's always going to be that one thing, like, so it's like, I cherish the moment, but now, like, you look at it, I could go look at 20 other plays other people made that we could question, and this is that. I'm like, man, but I just appreciated that, like you said, Lowe's, that people that know me, that kind of know my grind, see what I've been through. And if it all, kind of went down for me to go out there and leave it out there like that on the field, that's what makes it special, because I can truly say every time I stepped out there, hurt, played through a lot of injuries, I try to just leave it out there, because I know those moments of us, thinking you could play this game and be invincible forever, they don't last. And,
right.
Now with 2 beautiful children, they be trying to, Dad, nah, man, I'm going to stay in shape to chase y'all around, and that's about it.
Well, yeah, I had to do that for my kids, right? And now I'm walking and swimming for my grandkids,
Right. You got that new life. See?
I got new life. Yeah, new life. I remember my granddaughter, everybody had left the house and it was just me and her. She said, hey, Pop, let's go outside and let's throw the ball, right? So I was like, okay, let's go outside, let's throw the ball. So, we throwing the ball back, and I'm trying to teach her how to catch it. Just catch the ball. Put your hands down, catch it. So she walks up to me, said, Papa, you old. Right? So let's race, like that. So I said, oh, you want to race? I said, okay, you get to say go, but we're going to race to that tree over there, right? Like that. So, so I said, whenever you're ready to go, she said, go, like that. She started running, and she's looking back like she's like 100 miles up. She still sees me there, right? And I pass her, right? Now she's mad, right? She's totally pissed off, right? That I beat her, because she said, I ain't supposed to beat her because I'm old.
Yeah. I'm teaching my son that right now. He likes to come to the gym and watch me work out, and then Jalen, give me a couple push-ups here and there. I ain't push the pedal to the metal on him yet, but the kid is running into me. He's doing all this stuff, and then I'll let him get me a few times, and he just comes to me, Dad, you're not even tough. I said, come on, bro. Like, why are we doing this? Like, I'm on your team, man. Like it's like one of them Simba and Mufasa moments where it's like, all right, don't go to the elephant graveyard. It's bad for you. Like, but stay on this side of Pride Rock. We're gonna be all right. Like, stay on the team, bro. Don't go to the elephant graveyard. It's not good over there.
Yeah, I see you've been watching some cartoons and some movies, some animation.
Oh man, Lion King, Lion Guard. I'm all lioned out right now.
yeah, man. That's awesome, man. He'll get it. I had to literally to straighten up her day. I had to literally go back and race her again and let her win. Just to straighten out the day.
the sacrificial gains. Trust me. I listen. I know.
Oh
I
yeah.
told them I ain't competing with them. They're gonna learn a little bit, but I gotta let them. I let them win, but they gotta know. You gotta know how to win and lose. So it's like it's a great balance.
Yeah, it is. And so real quick, man, let's go back a little bit, man, and talk about growing up, mom, siblings, family, man. Talk to me a little bit about that. Bring us current.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think so. I'm very, very unique story. A lot of people, believe it or not, don't know like a lot of my roots. So I was born in New Rochelle, but my father's side of the family is actually from Mount Vernon. That I found that to be like news. Some people found that to be news. I'm like, nah, my grandparents are from Mount Vernon. And growing up in the Hollow, growing up in the projects, I'm the oldest of four. I have two younger brothers and a sister. And my wife, Janae, and her family's from Mount Vernon. We have two children together, Raven and Jalen. Raven's 10.
Wow.
Jalen's 5. And yeah, that's the crew. But yeah, so this Westchester connection of, family dynamic definitely, stays strong. But growing up in New Rochelle, like in the projects in New Rochelle, the Hollow, what everybody would call it, the one thing that it taught me was grind. It taught me a different kind of grind, right? Because when you mention that word grind, you can grind another way, or it's like a right way and a wrong way, right? So, as I chose sports, and you go back and you look at it like, why did I choose sports, or did sports choose me? So I seen my cousins playing, but then it was something about sports, football and basketball, what it made me feel. Like I didn't have much, but I had it all. And that kind of stuck with me, because like not having much in terms of material, the love that I felt in the neighborhood was enough. So as I started to get better in sports, the one thing I would always go tell kids, and now where I'm at in my life, I said, use sports as a tool. Because as soon as you put all that eggs in that basket, you kind of lose it somewhere else. And then that led to me, obviously, being able to, go to the pinnacle of sports. And I always said, you can live your dream, but one or two bad decisions in your life, your dream could become a nightmare. So I had a chance to kind of live through both of that, both of the dream and the nightmare, right? But going back on it, life just reversed for me, right? I was a man. There's a show called This Is Us where they foreshadow the future and show where they are now.
My wife loves it.
It's a great show. It's a great show. It's definitely a tear, like make you like cry and stuff. But that's kind of where I'm at in my life. Meaning, so at 11 years old, I considered myself a man, and And why did I consider myself a man at 11 years old? Well, I was paying bills at 11 years old. My first job was sweeping up here at the barbershop, bringing home money, and paying bills. When you fast forward that and you develop a routine of not kind of dealing with the issues and stuff. So what happened when you see mom struggle and do things like that? Man, I played sports. So mom could be having a bad day. I still went to practice. I still had to do what I had to do. You fast forward that, I was a man at 11, and became a boy at 21. So you went from all that time of grinding, sacrifice, to not having it, to barely making ends meet, to leaving college with like negative $800 in your bank account, to getting drafted, and with no guidance, nothing. Just, this is the NFL. You trained for it. You left college early. Here's a couple $1 million. I hope you survive, basically.
True.
Because everything you put out there, and I'm not saying it's bad, how they do things, but you don't have the tools. You're 21 years old. You never had it. You got people that's just saying, yeah, you take care of this, play sports, and that's not really how life is. Life is what I'm doing now, and I have to take care of every, phase of my life. I can't wake up and expect nothing from no one. I have to get up. I got to make sure my kids have it. I got to get up, grind, do what I got to do, where that was a luxury for you at that next level. And some people, like, it's not taking away your grind and your sacrifice, but for me, I got to be a little bit hands-on. I know my kind of abilities now, so I have to be in the mix. Just, getting too lax, stuff start going over your head, and you start taking things for granted, and you start having clouded judgment without making any excuses. I had the worst moment of my life caught on tape. I had the best moments of my life caught on tape, and that's sports and family, where that balance now has all made sense to me, and the word forgiveness that you had in there, really, sticks with me, because I had to learn to forgive myself before I could be any good to my kids, my wife, and my family, because I put so much into the game that it was even before my faith, and I know that was twisted. So once I realigned it, everything started to clear up. It's like, so it's funny, like where I'm at now, and I still love the game. I coach youth sports, but I get questions, do you miss it? And yeah, I miss it because I'm human. But what do you miss about it? I miss the genuine relationships. I miss, who doesn't miss that, moments that you can remember. Like, I miss the people that actually you don't see behind the scenes, the retired fireman who's up late helping us out with our laundry, the people who was helping us out genuinely cooking the food in the cafeterias. You made them smile. You took a picture with them. They're the ones behind the scene really are helping you out. The trainers that cared for you, that told you, go get a second opinion. Don't just go back on the field, because if you go out there with an injury, they can cut you. Those are what you miss.
Right.
I think that's life, though, because the people that are close to you will always remain close to you. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I love the game. I love talking it. I love living it. I took my kids to a couple Ravens games this year. You talking about an experience. I mean, listen, I thought I'm still thinking I'm good. Like, I don't really like rolling out with, once you have like security presence stuff, like, but they know I was with a group of people, but I had my kids, and yeah, I was more sore and tired from just taking my kids to the game than actually playing in one. So I got a greater appreciation for the fans that start their day early for a 1 o'clock game. You're out there at 9 o'clock, you're tailgating, you're rooting. That's a long day. And all I had to do was go out there for 2 hours. Yeah, I prepared for 2 hours, give it my best, 2.5, 3 hours, whatever it is. man, I appreciate the fans, man. I did everything. I'd never been to a tailgate in my life. I've been to about 7 this year, and I appreciate it because I never got to be at a tailgate before. I didn't even know what a tailgate was until, one of my friends told me to come out. And he said, man, you got to see this, man. We got food. We got, you'll be full. You won't even need to eat before you go in the stadium. He was right. I was full the whole game.
Well, the thing is that, while you appreciate them, they appreciate the athlete because they're working hard and they're grinding all week long.
Yeah.
And for that moment to go see you play in Rutgers, right? Or to go see you play, with the Ravens, right? That's their relief. That's their stress reliever, so they can get back up on Monday and grind to see their favorite teams and favorite players play. I mean, it's a fight, like you said, it's one helping the other.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's an awesome thing. I mean, we both been in that experience, so we both appreciate the power of what we experienced.
Oh, absolutely,
and, yeah, without a doubt. And I don't know if you know what, it's hard to hear when you're young. Right? It's just hard to hear when you're young. And I remember we had some conversation. I don't know if you remember you and Courtney being at the house and we having some conversations, right? And you remember anything I said?
You might have to bring me back down memory lane, but I guarantee you, I know there was some chicken made.
Remember the food? You remember the chicken and waffles?
Yeah, I'm just saying, you can't go wrong with that, man. Like Super Bowl Sunday, we got to talk about the food that was made.
Yeah, it's interesting because you guys were sitting there with me and you asked me a question. You say, "Hey, man, you've been at the highest level." And I think you guys coming out of high school, seniors coming out of high school, and you asked me a question and said, you've been at the highest level, what is it like and what should we look out for? I don't know if you remember the conversation. And nobody really does, right? When you're young like that, it's hard to hear when you're young. But I said, well, academics is tough. Right? It's hard, right? But you know what? You're a smart person. You'll figure it out and you'll make it, right? And then number two, being an athlete is hard, right? But you're talented and you're gifted and you work hard and you will make it through, right? I said, but the problem we all have to deal with is how do we manage social life? Right? How do we adjust to the normal guy walking around, right? And the pressures of being a star when you receive that scholarship. And you don't even have to be a star. You just have to get the scholarship, right? You just have to make the high school team. You know what I'm saying? And it just changes your world just making the high school team, right? Because people look at you different because you got a uniform on, right? Oh, you're on the team. You're on a popular football team. I was on a popular basketball team. It just changes you, and each level, it just changes you. And that's how do you manage that? Right.
Yeah.
And you got to hear somebody say that over and over and over and over and over again. Watch out, so, but those are comments. You guys asked me a million questions then, but I mean, that was kind of the gist of it, and yeah, I mean, and then to hear it, but being the experience is another whole mindset.
Oh yeah. It's not even. I know where. See, that's where I'm at now. I'm kind of where you was telling me that's what I would tell young kids now. I kind of tell them like this. I said, there's certain things that are good and bad, but you can't start one thing growing up in the hood and growing up we would see stuff that was abnormal, but we start normalizing those abnormal things. And that becomes like kind of a pattern. Like, I mean, was it normal, growing up, hearing gunshots, seeing, fights, seeing all kind of things, but you able to tone that out and still go be successful? That's still, normalizing an abnormal thing, but there's a certain phase where that doesn't work because it's almost like you put a nerve block in so that you couldn't hear the noise, so I can go do my job, But what happens when that nerve block wears off? All that pain, all that agony, all that success and social anxiety and things like that we don't talk about enough on the, on the mental health space of, like you just said, like, LeBron and everybody else. I mean, I just think about these things, how they have to spend so much money just to enjoy life. Like, they can't go out and just say, I'm going for a walk to the park. They can't do these things that, so it's kind of like I'm appreciative that on a magnitude of life, I still kind of have some normalcy to it, right? Where I can go out with my kids, I can have a good time. I don't have to, think about a bodyguard or another car behind me to make sure I'm good. Like, I think that brings so much pressure to, to anyone who would live their life. I'm not taking it away, but I'm just saying, like, I don't have to do that. I'm glad that, I can see people at ground level, and I think, most people who know me and see me, I think they would feel the same. Like, I'm not unapproachable. And if you approach me, like I said, as long as, with love and respect, you're going to get the same from me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, let's have a curiosity conversation, because I know this is Super Bowl. Today is the Super Bowl, and you play football. But here's my curiosity conversation is about basketball, right? And you had a moment where you guys beat Mount Vernon. Okay, I give you that. And your senior year, right?
Yeah.
You I think you knocked us out of the. Of course, I was there. You knocked us out of the county championship, and my wife over there gave you waffles and chicken, the super waffles and chicken that souped y'all up and gave you all that super energy to beat my Mount Vernon Knights. So talk about you were good. You were a very good basketball player, man, too, as well.
Well, here's where the humbleness has to come in, right? I have to give Bob Cimino so much love, and I mean, he coached my cousin, John McDonald.
Oh yeah,
and so I've watched Mount Vernon basketball growing up and through the ages, and I've been on the other side of being at Rochelle High School and watching the tip, Ben Gordon dunking at the first play. I've been on that side of it, and but I also had great relationships with even the guys on the team. Bob Cimino gave me one of my first jobs and got paid for it. I actually worked at the basketball camp that he had, and just to go full circle now, Bob Cimino helped me get recruited in football because while I was working at that camp, even though I was playing basketball, with the guys, Mike Quick showed up to that camp, and he was, doing his rankings and stuff like that, and he sees me playing ball. Like, Bob, where'd you get this guy from? I never seen him around. You go full circle now. Bob Cimino tells Mike Quick who I am. I play football. You should go check him out. Now, New Rochelle High School's ranked in the MSG varsity, all because I was at the right place at the right time. With some people would consider a rival, but I consider it more like family. Like, and he helped me put me in position to be successful recruiting wise.
Right.
And that's just the kind of person he is. That's what the Mount Vernon, you wonder why they're successful, is because they do things, not only for themselves, but they help everybody out. And they didn't like, how did I end up with a job there because of the relationships that, him coaching my cousin and things like that. Like, you just can't take those moments for granted. That little small moment put my high school career football wise on a whole nother, trajectory.
That's awesome.
And so there was some familiarity with some of the guys, right?
Yeah.
So and nobody knew because 6th through 8th grade I was on the AAU circuit. I played. I don't want to go too far, but I was pretty good in basketball. But I was on the circuit just like everybody else. So me playing at that camp, me working at that camp, in 10th grade, 9th grade, I played JV. I could have easily played varsity, but I knew what I went to Rochelle High School for, was to play football. I actually was like second in the team in scoring on varsity in 10th grade. I took 11th grade off because I was getting recruited for football.
Right.
I just didn't want to mess that up. I came back my senior year. So those guys that knew me at the camps, they were, that team that they had probably had 8 Division I guys. And they were familiar with me, not just from football, but from basketball. So there was a respect level there. And I did have that. I had a 6'8" point forward on my team too, Jeff McDermott.
Yeah, you sure did.
So, he was my quarterback and point forward. So, definitely. I had a great day at the county center. I have 1 gold ball, just like I got 1 Super Bowl. So, listen, that's all you need is 1. And I don't know how many Mount Vernon got, but it is quite the scene when you go to Mount Vernon High School and you just see all the championships. And then it's something about playing there that's different than any place. It gets a little hotter there too in that Mount Vernon gym. It gets a little hotter. And, when Bob calls the full court press, if you're not prepared, that's when the game could be 5 points. You get blown out by 50.
That's true.
But the respect level for not just Bob Cimino and Mount Vernon, it's all the players that, I had a chance to compete against. So many of them that they helped me mold me. Like I learned how to grind and work. I took Mount Vernon's grind with me to New Rochelle, and I spreaded that through my football team.
Right.
We were a program. I got to see how not one man, like Keith Benjamin would come back from camps but he would have to get right back to work. It was no, like somebody's coming, like it was the next man, you got to help. They were always raising the next guy up.
That's right.
And I've never seen something like that where that it was just like it was family. I was young going into like high school, and I got to see everything just a little different, but it was always helping out the next guy. They had my brother's keeper without even having to say it. It was, all right, we got this, we got this young guy, who was it, man? It was Dexter Gray, and what was the guy that played? I forgot. It was another big man, but I remember them going at it when they was young. KJ.
Yes,
it was
Kevin
Dexter
Jones.
and KJ. I remember that battle in the gym, like because KJ was young. Dexter's older.
Right.
I remember them going at it in the gym, but it was like, I gotta help my little brother. Now, if you think about Dexter Gray, in Kevin's game, it's similar. They both ended up with a nice little touch shot.
That's
and
right.
Being stretch 3s and 4s.
That's right.
Rather than banging on the post. So that's what you're gonna get from being around.
Well, yeah, and that's historic. And this tradition. Everybody looks at our rivalries, from Mount Vernon and New Rochelle, or in my case, Mount Vernon and Yonkers, Mount Vernon and White Plains, as you would have those same rivalries, right? But at the end of the day, many people didn't know when there was no ball, right? We hung out, we hung out together.
Right.
Some of my real good friends Kenny Washington. I used to go work out with Kenny Washington. I mean, Clyde Vaughn played with us in the summertime, in the summer leagues. Still a great, great friend. So yeah, I mean, all them guys in Yonkers, man. Bernard Toome and all those guys. We used to go during the summer, man, and go over to the park and play, and hang out and laugh and talk. But it became real during the season. It's like a Mike Tyson thing. I'm gonna give you a kiss, and after I finish knocking you out, So, yeah. So,
but that's like, I think it's like a brotherhood. Like, I mean, being that the towns are so close, like, I mean, iron sharpens iron. So it's like, if you look, like, I even hit it on the football side, like, and I say this in all due respect, right? Mount Vernon had a football team, and I'm saying this in a respectful way because I know how I was coached by Coach Lou DiRienzo and how our team was. But they had a team with, Wayne Cowens, at quarterback, Lowell Robinson, Greg Harris. If you flipped coaches, and that team, I felt like they had at least 8 Division I guys. If you just flopped us, we wouldn't, like, the story might be different here. And they were building. They were building something.
Yes.
And I don't know what happened after that, but I know that what we had between that was almost how it could have been almost like football and basketball. But one thing I know now is I work closely with Coach Sparks at Mount Vernon now.
Right.
I look forward to him building that back in Mount Vernon. Because, you see a lot of stuff that's going on in youth sports, but Coach Sparks is one of the guys I played against. And to see him in that leadership role for the Mount Vernon, football program, I think that's great because he's had all those young kids since they were young. So usually what happens in high school, you get recruited now and loyalty issues and, parents, you got to understand, man. The kid's going to make it. If he's good enough, they're going to find him. But stay loyal for a little bit before you go out. Give Coach Sparks a chance to help build this program. Mount Vernon's right on the cusp is doing something, special, I think, football. And that's something that it takes a little bit of time when you're in that rebuilding process. But I hope there's, the parents that I see out at those games and stuff like that, give Coach Sparks a fair shot to keep those boys together. I understand the value of being stronger together. Me and Courtney played. We went to elementary school, middle school, high school, and college together.
Right.
To make the story even better, Coach Shiano was walking down the hallway and asked, could Courtney play football? He was at prep school and came home. I said, that's my brother. Go look at his tape. That summer, we walked on Rutgers campus together. So keep them boys together, man. We got strength in numbers.
Yeah. And Laurel was my wife was Teresa's cousin. And as you know, my man was.
Yeah.
I used to tease Was all the time. I used to come to the game, man. I said, man, at least roll around on the grass and get your uniform dirty, man.
Yeah. So Was nickname is the chef because at the end of the day, when we played at Lincoln Park basketball, you would always smell those fish sandwiches from Chef over there. Yeah. So he's been he's the head chef at Bonefish out here in Maryland.
Yeah.
Running the whole kitchen, but ironically, his nickname was always the chef.
And now he's cooking.
Like, so it works out.
Yeah. I was down in Jacksonville when him and Courtney was out in Jacksonville, and I played in a tournament out there, the old guys tournament, and they took me out. They took me out to eat and stuff like that. And Bonefish is one of my favorite places. My wife would tell you them bang bang shrimp.
Yeah. Trust me, you come down this way, you call Was, man. He might have the fish in the batter ready for you, right? He could do it at the house now, probably.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be down there in June, right? Yeah, I'm gonna be down there in June after Sherelle gets married. Sherelle gets married on June the 9th. And then I'm coming down there to play golf. And I think it's a golf tournament down there. So yeah, with Ken Singleton, played with the Baltimore Orioles.
Oh yeah.
From Mount Vernon. And before you go, I know you got to jump off here, and then we're going to continue talking about the Super Bowl and all kinds of stuff like that. I got my man Stanley Wise in the house. He's down there. He's down there in Baltimore.
What's up? What's up, Ray?
What's up, man? How you feeling?
He's all a big fan.
Enjoyed you, man. Enjoyed you today, my brother. Yeah. I'm from Baltimore, but I'm representing New York this evening, this afternoon.
Oh yeah, I can hear the accent. You said it right. You said Baltimore. I know you're good,
Baltimore.
baby. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Baltimore, hon.
How your two-step looking?
Oh yeah. Man,
we keep that low right now.
But no, my wife from Mount Vernon.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's love. See.
Yeah.
His wife played. I think you got me.
Her jersey is in the rafters.
Her jersey's in the rafters. My wife played with her, with his wife. They won the first women's state championship, and they all live in Baltimore.
Oh no, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, it's small world, right?
Hey, when the Ravens is on, I know where he is. We do a men's call on Wednesday, and we were doing it on Monday. So the Ravens was playing on Monday. You can see him. He's like, he's on the Zoom, like looking at the TV. Come on, man, you gotta hurry up, man. You gotta say the prayer, man. I gotta get to my game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
So Stanley, you got a question for? You got any questions for Ray before he jump off here real quick?
No, not necessarily a question, man. But I'm just proud of you, my brother, man. It's good to see you, good to hear you, man. You're doing some good things, and may our God continue to give you the desires of your heart, man. That's all. That's my prayer.
Oh yeah, my pleasure, man. I appreciate it. Definitely love breaking bread with with the fellas, man. This is always anytime you get a platform, I feel like especially with with Lowe's, we go way back, and I think like a lot of stuff that he's done on his platform, but just being a prayer warrior for my family, him and his wife, they've always been there for us, on and off the field. So anytime we got the platform with to share with them and give us a platform is greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
That's what I'm told, man. Y'all go way back.
Mm-hmm. So Stanley, thank you for popping on, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. No problem, man. Love y'all, man. Hey, be safe.
All right, you too. Hey, and then got my cousin Ray Boy. He's not a Baltimore fan, but
yeah,
he's a Lakers and Rams fan. So when you get off, we're gonna talk some Super Bowl stuff. He down there, he in Jersey. I don't know how a Jersey guy get to LA and the Rams.
Listen, you're gonna bet, play the over.
Well, who you got today, Ray?
Stay away from the spread. The spread is gonna be close. Play the over.
Oh, yeah. So Ray, I'm gonna say thanks, man. Isaiah told me to tell you hello, man. He was supposed to be down here, but I'm gonna bring my wife, right? She right here. She's my executive producer here, executive director, producer. She's over here. She wanted to say hello to you. Let's move this mic.
No, I got my mic.
Oh, he got his own. She got her own mic, but I'm saying I'm moving out of the way so you can see her.
Hey, boo.
Oh yeah. Hey. Look,
you already know. You already know how much I love you, right?
This what we do.
That's what we do, right? So Lowe's was talking about the chicken and waffles. I remember that morning so clearly. Y'all came to the house. I had chicken and waffles, all kinds of fruit, and y'all ate something big time. And then you go to the game, and I'm looking up, and you shooting these shots from the corner, 3-pointers left and right.
I didn't.
Then you came down to the side, and you were like, It's the waffles. I said, don't tell anybody that I made you waffles.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, that was one of the best pregame meals I had in a long time. That was a one and done. You couldn't eat no more the rest of the day. All your nerves and stuff would be bad. So that one good meal was it. I played off that. If anybody want to know what gassed me up for that day, it was chicken and waffles.
But I'm very proud of you. And the one thing that's special for me is I've known you since you were little, and I've known your wife since she was little. And because I've had the experience of knowing both of you, I love you both, tremendously. And so, my heart is always there with y'all. And the one thing that's special for me is I've known your mom and my cousins, your family and my family have been close all the way. And your wife and your wife's mom and dad, we were all close. And then I coached my baby girl, Taylor, your sister-in-laws. And the other thing I want to say before I go is your parent-in-law, your mother and father-in-law had 2 sons to win the Super Bowl. Now, it's one thing to go to Super Bowl, but your brother-in-law also won the Super Bowl. And I thought that was pretty fascinating too. So, I love your family. I love you. And you got that I see your beautiful kids.
Who we got over there? Who's that?
Oh, that's Jalen. This is the terror on 2 feet right here. He ready to go.
Listen, I'm gonna let you go, but I just wanted to say that I love you so much, and Janae and your entire family, and thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to be with us on the Blueprint today.
No problem. Listen,
man,
it's a great day. I don't even know how he found me down here, but it's all right. It's cool right
now. All right, man. You're going to host a Super Bowl party, so man, go and enjoy it. And then me and Ray we're gonna talk some Super Bowl stuff over here. And Trees, we're gonna talk some Super Bowl stuff over here. And man, I love you, man.
Yeah, I love y'all too, man. Appreciate
and I'll hit you up when I get to Baltimore.
All
right, man.
Yeah.
Ray boy.
What up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I hear you loud and clear. So we're gonna talk for a moment, me, you, and Treese. We're gonna talk Super Bowl for a while. And let me see. Let me move this out the way.
I was upstairs cooking right then. Got my shrimp ready. Got my fish, baked potatoes. I'm ready. A couple people coming over.
Well, I think Michelle Number's coming over for the Super Bowl, and I know you're a big Rams guy. You just showing the Rams stuff now. You ain't showing the LA Lakers stuff. I noticed that.
Hey, that's right. They still good. They still my team. I ain't going nowhere.
So he got his Lakers stuff over there, and he got his room, his man cave painted yellow and gold. Man, so what's up? What do you think about the Rams' chances today, man?
Rams' chances. They're just like asking me, am I a fan? and look, your brother keep calling my team a bum, and his team home sitting on the couch. Ain't dog name, but he know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, both my brothers and I, well, particularly Doug. Doug's a Dallas fan.
Yep.
Right, Doug's a Dallas fan, and Kurt is a Jets, right, and Pittsburgh fan, and they all home.
All home sitting on the couch.
Yeah. So
and wishing that the Rams don't win.
Well, I'm not gonna do that because I've been asked all week who I was going for. Right, I was asked all week who I was going for, and I'm gonna be happy for whoever wins.
Yeah.
Me and Teresa give you one. When the Rams played New England for the Super Bowl. And I don't know if you was on earlier when I said, somebody gave us tickets to that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I heard it.
Right. And I was kind of, I love Tom Brady, and so I was kind of on one end, I had to root for New England because the people who gave us the tickets, right, was from they were season ticket holders for New England.
Right.
So at one end I had to root for them, but I really liked the running back. What was the running back's name at that time, Trees?
For New England?
For the Rams when they played New England.
That was that was name right on the tip of my tongue.
But he was for 2 years in a row, man. He led the league in rushing.
Yeah, he led the league in rushing because I seen one play that we were playing the Cowboys, and he ran, and when he ran out of bounds, he sat on the Cowboys bench.
Yeah, I mean, and then the thing is, but they didn't play him. I thought that last year, man, that whole entire year, man, they was messing with him, and I thought he was the difference maker. And
Ernie,
you guys winning.
Just come by.
You guys winning. You know what I'm saying? But but you ran up against Tom Brady.
That's it. But look where he at this year, though.
Well, he was in the same spot last year.
Yep.
And he was in the same spot 10 times. And he was in the same. He came away 7 times.
Hey, I made a comment.
Gurley.
One of my buddies made a comment on that game about Tom Brady, and I came on and said
his team is still a bum. Doug said your team is still a bum.
Look, Facebook was talking about kicking me off. I said they must be Tom Brady fans.
Well, listen, it was the player was Todd Gurley, and he actually did a good job not coming out of the backfield and also being a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was a tough player. I think Skylar said it was Marcus' fault, but Marcus was a little bit further back. But Todd Gurley was pretty dangerous back then.
Mm-hmm.
When we went to see that game, what was really interesting is there were so many fans there from New England.
They just outnumbered.
And it also felt like the announcers for the game were from New England. And what I mean by that is like New England would do something, and all of a sudden they would go, and the announcer would go, and New England just got to the 50-yard line, first down. And then when LA would do something, go first down, LA. We were like, did I miss something? Did they bring we were in Atlanta, and it was like they brought the New England announcers to the game. But it was a great experience, and I wish I was able to be, able to go to see LA play, right now. But that's okay. I'm going to have a real comfortable spot, chilling in the living room.
Oh yeah. When was it in 2000? Right, Trees?
Yeah.
When we first bought our first big TV.
Yeah.
What's up, Stanley?
Put Stanley back in.
Yeah, man. Unmute yourself, man. Yeah. We talking some Super Bowl stuff. So, Ray trying to get a championship. And you know what? I told him I was happy, right? I'm happy if whoever wins, right? And because, Donaldson, I think, deserves a championship, and I'm excited for your quarterback, right? Because he suffered in misery. I call it the misery of Detroit for all them years, and finally
I saw him and Barry Sanders for some years, because my sister Gerald used to live in Detroit,
right?
And her company had a whole row behind the end zone. So every Thanksgiving, from 1982 up till the time Barry Sanders retired. I got a chance to see him play every year.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, well, you know, Barry Sanders was amazing. He's one of the guys I think, don't you think, Trees? I would have loved it. You know, it's some people you just
Barry
love.
Sanders, he didn't break the
Rushing
record.
Well, he wasn't going to do that, man, because Barry's just a humble guy, man. He just quit.
No, Barry also didn't have a good offensive line. You know, he was running through people without having a strong offensive line.
Right, he didn't have a line, and that's why he wanted out.
Right, and that's how, if he would have had the same type of line of protection that Tom Brady had as a quarterback, he would have killed that yardage.
Or Emmitt Sanders had in Dallas.
Oh yeah, well, you know, and remember when what was my man Earl? He used to
Earl Campbell.
Earl Campbell used to punish people. He didn't need a line; he made a line, right?
Yeah.
But he got injured. You know, he got injured, so that caused him to, you know, to lose that direction. But you know, we come here to talk about LA and Cincinnati. I have some friends that like Cincinnati, but LA has a young coach. You know, what do you think, Ray, that the young coach has that helps him to work closely with this team? And I think he was coaching even when we saw them play a few years back.
Yeah, he was the coach.
He was like 33. I think he's 36 now. So, you know, talk about what you think.
I think he's more of a player's coach. He's always energetic. He's running around there giving five. You know, he keep them as you say, he keep them pumped up, regardless of what mistakes they might make on the field. You see him, go to him, talk to him, and you know he's ready for the next play. He almost on the field.
Yeah, I think one time I seen him running down the sideline. You know,
all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
But like I said, this game is close. I got a chance to see go to the Baltimore Ravens game. If this game stay close, if we go up, our defense gonna have a field day.
Wow.
Who has now? Kendama and Sue. Is he with one of you guys, or was he with?
No.
He was with San Francisco.
No, I think he was with. Wasn't he with Wasn't he with Tampa Bay?
Who that?
Kendama and Sue. He was in San Francisco, I think.
No,
I didn't hear you.
Kerry Washington's husband.
What's his name again?
Kendama and Sue.
Kendama and Sue.
Oh, he's with
I thought he was Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you what, it's really pretty awesome. I just enjoy watching them play. Now, contrast McVay with the coach from Cincinnati. What do you think about, you know, what's the difference in their styles as coaches?
I didn't hear that question again.
Lowe's. Contrast the difference between coaches, but between Cincinnati's coach and your coach in Los Angeles.
What's the difference between the coaches?
I just think our coaches, you know, he's not one of them older. Both of them kind of young, and they both of them very smart. But you know, Cincinnati coach, I think he could be. He's not as conservative. I don't believe as our coach is.
Yeah, and he got you know. They in the Super Bowl. They did something right. So
yeah, because they haven't been to the Super Bowl, I think, in like 36 years.
That's right. Yeah, and like Ray said earlier, it's hard to get there.
It's very hard, yeah. And like I said, you never know what's gonna happen. But if Kansas City got to him 9 times, he's gonna be running around there in the backfield all day long.
That's right. Well, Ray, boy, I want to thank you for coming on, man. And I hope you get your dream come true today. and the Rams get a championship, man.
If
If not,
we do, they gonna shut Facebook down.
yeah. And check this out. If they don't, right?
My
I know
Facebook,
I won't hear from you for about 2 weeks from you leaving.
you'll hear from me. But hey, if you're a fan that's already on the couch, I ain't gonna want to hear it. You gonna give everybody I know. Look, long as we winning, my phone don't even ring. The minute we lose, my phone's going off the hook.
Yeah.
So that's true competition.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Hey, man. Enjoy
Right,
you.
man.
Love you. Tell your wife I said hello.
I sure will. Cause look, I told her to put her Eagles stuff on. Come on with me. She said she good.
Yeah, because she's an Eagle fan.
She's an Eagles fan.
Yeah. All right, Ray boy. Take care, man.
She already said, "Oh God, pray for my husband."
Oh man,
need to stand it.
Yeah.
I saw Doug come on.
Yeah,
them Cowboys. He going
down goes the Rams. Down goes the Rams. That's what he said.
I know he talking junk. All right, man. Y'all take care.
All right, take care, Ray. All right. So yeah, I'm here with my beautiful and lovely wife.
I don't know if that all that beautiful, but okay.
Hey, you my beautiful and lovely wife. And let me say this. We did a little Valentine's early yesterday.
Yes, sir.
We went out to dinner, went down to Birdland in New York City and hung out for a while. She didn't know where we were going, what we were going to do, but we wanted to do early because we had how Monday Valentine's Day get crazy.
Yes.
And it was Monday, and man, everything was kind of sold out and different things like that. And so we had a little advertiser at Birdland and listened to a little bit of music. It was crazy down in the city. It was like it was no pandemic, man. It was crazy. I can only imagine what the Super Bowl is gonna be like.
Oh, yeah.
But and then we went up to see MJ to play, which was awesome. Yes. Yeah. We enjoyed that, bringing back some good music. But I don't know if many of you know that my wife, her father, when she was younger, used to take her to football games when she was young. So she knows a lot about football.
Oh, yes.
And she was caught. She actually took the stats for the high school football team. So she knows, man, she'd be calling before the referee could call a play. She already knows what the penalty is. And so we're gonna talk a little football here before we get off. So babe, what do you think? We always look forward to Super Bowl because it's more family, this kind of family. It's hard to do, like I said earlier, it's hard to do it for NBA basketball. Mm-hmm. But just one game. So talk a little bit about
what I think.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I would like to see Cincinnati win because they've never been to the Super Bowl before.
I know Ray Boy is over there crying right now.
Now, I believe Los Angeles deserves it in a sense because they were there a couple of years back, and I'd like to see them have the opportunity also to win it. So it's good when you have you're going to get a new team that hasn't been there for a while. I think both teams will come in hungry. I think both teams will come in prepared. I don't know about you, but anybody who's been watching football during the playoffs, there have been some amazing games, like last second overtime kind of stuff. And that's the kind of football you want to see. What I don't want to see today, I don't want to see a blowout. To me, a blowout just messes the game up, right? I want to see remember a couple of years back when Seattle played New England and that ill-advised pass that Russell Wilson threw that got intercepted on the goal line.
Drove me nuts.
Yeah. Now, of course, they didn't give the ball to the guy who could run the ball into the end zone.
No.
However,
Marshawn Lynch. He brought him there. He should have gave him the ball.
That's the kind of game you want to see, though, right? That's the kind of game that people are looking at to the last second of the game, right? They can't leave from the seat. That's what I want. I don't want when people got to get up because they say, "Oh, this game is over." You know, we were watching. It was a playoff game, and I think it was the one that I think it was with Tom Brady. They were down, and there was only 13 seconds left to go in the game. Was it Tom Brady? It was just last playoff, and it might have been the Chiefs. It was the Chiefs, and they left Mahomes 13 seconds on the clock when the other team had scored. Right?
Earlier this year.
So I was
Buffalo.
I was on my way to my daughter's house. So I said, "Well, babe, it's only like a couple of seconds ago. I'm going home. I'm going to Michelle's."
That was a Buffalo game.
I get to Michelle's house. I got the TV on, and they're interviewing the Chiefs. So what happened? Let me tell you, they always say the game ain't over until the fat lady says, "Well, I'm a fat lady now." Well, I tell people I ain't fat anymore. I'm voluptuous. That's my new word for me. I'm voluptuous.
Stop
now,
it.
You know? But truly, you know, I love this game. I always tell people I'm the little girl from Remember the Titans, not the black girl. I'm not the black girl from Remember the Titans. I am the little white girl from Remember the Titans, the one that sat there and knew everything about the game. And the little black girl goes, "I do not care." That was what she said. Me, I care everything about football. You know, growing up in Yonkers, and my father, Mr. Wallace, those of you who were from Yonkers know, he was at every football game, and I was right there on the shoulders. And I remember the cheerleaders. I would sit with Wanda London and Sheila Ty and Dorothy Hicks, and I would say all the cheers that Yonkers needed to teach us how, you know, for the games. And I looked out there and I saw them cheering for them girls, them guys on the basketball team, them guys on the football team. I said, listen, enough of that cheering. I wanted them to cheer for me. I want to be able to get up there and play the game. And that's what made me learn how to play basketball. But I'm grateful that I learned sports. And I'm going to close out with this last story. I remember when Sherelle was born, we had photos taken. Mm-hmm. And Lowe's played with the Albany Patroons. And there was a guy there by the name of Fritz. And Fritz took pictures of everybody. He took pictures of everybody.
Everybody.
And one day, Fritz took pictures of the family. And we ended up, the guy that Fritz came to the house and Lowe's was gone. And he walked in the house and I was watching college football. So Fritz walked in and he walked into the back, like where my bedroom was, in the bathroom. And I was like, why is this old dude like walking through my house? He saw the football game. He saw the football game was on. He thought I had a man in the house while you were away.
Yeah.
He said, "Ain't no man here?" I said, "No." He said, "You watch football?" I said, "I've been watching football since I was a kid." He said, "I've never known a woman to watch football in my life." I said, "Oh yeah, I watch football. I love football. I grew up on football, and so yeah, I can watch football when nothing else is on. You know, so I'm into football, and I'm looking forward to this game today."
Yeah, and you know what's so crazy? And let me tell you something amazing about our Super Bowl experience. Man, we had the opportunity to take in all of the events and things that went on during the Super Bowl, and it was just amazing. And you know what's crazy was when you go to the Super Bowl, I'm sure I can only imagine, if you can imagine this, if you go to a football game now or baseball game or hockey game, the amount of money it costs, right, to eat, to drink, you know, all those things. Mm-hmm. And we had an amazing experience at the Super Bowl when Tom Brady beat the Rams. And I remember going out to get, I said, "Hey, babe, you want something to eat?" And I went out to get something to eat. And I found out that the owner would not allow for you to overcharge in regards to food and drink.
Yes.
And probably today, if you're in LA and you're going to the Super Bowl, you probably, if you go to get a hot dog and a soda, or you're going to get whatever you're going to have, some popcorn, that's $150. That's $200. Well, he would not allow that to happen in the Mercedes-Benz arena, where hot dog was $2, a drink was $3, a candy bar was $1, the popcorn was $1.50, right? And I came back with 7 items at the Super Bowl for less than $20. I mean, I got to salute the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, and you know, that's amazing. And then I'll say this: they say that Joe Burrows, right, because he's kind of a little cocky, you know, reminds him of Joe Namath, right? Joe Namath, as you know, was the quarterback with the New York Jets, right? And when they won the Super Bowl, he predicted they was going to win the Super Bowl. Jersey, you know, Joe Namath was just the best, right? And so I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. I'm going to be happy for whoever wins.
Yes, I am too. And can I just mention, my sister also was the statistician for the Mount Vernon High School football team. So I did it for 2 years, and when I left, my sister did it. So that shows you how the impact that our father had on us as football, you know, as football, the lover of football. And so, Skylar, my Loza's cousin Ray's wife is an Eagles fan. I am a Giants and Jets fan. I am a true New Yorker. Now, my friend Cassandra Turner would tell me that Giants and Jets are not New York teams, that the true New York team is the Buffalo Bills. But anybody who has a team where the mountains of snow are greater than your car, I can't get with them. So I'm going to stick down here with my Giants and my Jets, and I don't care if they're living in New Jersey. I know where they came from. So I'm definitely a Giants, Jets, Brooklyn Nets, Knicks. If I was to go hockey, it's going to be Islanders and Rangers, and baseball is going to be Mets and Yankees. I'm not one of those that goes one way or the other. I just like a true good team. Now, here's the deal. My teams in New York in basketball are not doing the things that they need to do. So if I was to choose a team that plays the game nicely, it's going to be the Warriors. But I'm going to still be a Knicks and Brooklyn fan.
Yeah.
And the Knicks did beat the Warriors the other day, you know, so that's a good thing. So, you know, so shout out to all of them. I'm looking forward to. I hope you guys eat well today. Stay safe while you're out there getting together with your family members. I don't know what your meals are going to be out there. People should shout out what you're going to be eating. I know we usually do tacos. You know, Lowe's and I became plant-based this year, but I think we've been doing a little, like, you know, testing some other things, but for the most part, we've been doing a lot more of a plant-based living. So I'm excited for just being able to be together. Usually we have a lot of people, but this year it's just going to be, you know, hubby and me and Zay. And then I think we're going to get Michelle and the kids, and that's it. And so we're just going to have a good time watching the game. So I hope you have a good time. Let's see. Of those of you who are still listening, put your predictions in the chat. Who do you think is going to win? Let's see whether we got the Bengals or the LA Rams. Come on, somebody. I just like to see the chat just go up really quickly and say, I believe it's going to be the Rams. I believe it's going to be the Bengals. If y'all put that in the chat, that's the reason why we have the chat. And then I'm going to pass it off to Lowe's, and we're going to close out. He's going to tell you who we have coming. And while he's telling you who's coming next week, I just want to see some chats in there talking about who you think is going to win this week. And God bless you, and have a great, great Super Bowl day.
Well, of course, we're going to have some, you know, some chips and stuff like that, and, you know, all those things that ain't good for you but also I've already made beef tacos, and I've already made plant-based tacos, right? And Isaiah was supposed to come down here, but he's upstairs doing fish and shrimp tacos, right? And so we're going to eat. That's gonna be most important. We're gonna really have a good time. We're gonna sit back and enjoy this game. I really like football. I don't know many of you knew this, but when I was in college, several football teams came down to see me. They always believed that basketball players could make a transition into football. So at the time was the Oakland Raiders. Even Gus Williams was recruited by the Oakland Raiders. I was recruited by the Oakland Raiders and the Dallas Cowboy as a cornerback. So yeah, I've always loved football, man. And you know, I didn't play it in high school. Too many of my teammates was getting hurt and beat up playing football. But again, I want to say enjoy, man. You know, enjoy the Super Bowl today. Enjoy family time, and enjoy the food. Next week is the NBA All-Star weekend, All-Star game on next Sunday. My guest is Ben Gordon. Ben Gordon's going to be my guest next week for a special All-Star weekend, NBA All-Star weekend. We're going to be on at the same time. Going to be on at 2 o'clock to 3:30 on next week. I'm looking forward to talking to Ben, man. It's been a while. And, and then, hey, I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Love you guys. Stay safe. Be blessed all week long. Love you. And good night. Good afternoon.
We really hope you enjoyed this episode of Lowe's More, the Blueprint Podcast. Stay connected and follow us at our website, www.lowesmore.com. That's LOWESMOORE.com. You can also join the discussion on Twitter at Lowe's More and on Facebook at Lowe's More Jr. As always, thank you for pushing your mindset towards a better reality. This concludes the most thought-provoking portion of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast to stay fully up to date with everything we're up to. Until next time, be kind to yourself and each other.
What they teaching is a joke. I ain't buying it like I'm broke. Insufficient funds for insignificant.